Life, it's just not fair that life happens.
No, I know. And if you want, if you're just now starting to record, I'm happy to like pop through in just a few minutes or less the story I
Yeah.
told.
Would you?
Yeah, yeah. Let me just go real quick.
I know that
So
sounds horrible, but we have so many people that aren't on that are gonna want to hear this.
yeah, and then you miss the first part of it, and then it won't make any sense. So for everybody who's already on and already got to hear this, you get to hear it again. So my name is Jessica Green. I've been with the company for about 5.5 years. I was asked if I brought a network in with me, if I had come from another company, if I had any experience. I had experience with one other company. I was with them for a couple of years. I did not do very well in that company. I built a little bit of a team. I didn't bring a big team with me by any means. I brought a couple of friends. I watched one of my friends for 9 months do this business, and I realized after watching her for quite some time that this company was just different. It was a different system. It was a different way. It was a product that was working for most people. It was super simple. I felt like a fraud in my last company bringing people in at a certain point because I felt like people weren't going to be able to make the money that you kind of are telling people they could make. And I could see real quickly with this company that anybody could do this. Anybody could get trials out of this product. The product worked so quickly for most people that it became the product selling itself. And then the VIP 800, 1600 seemed to sell itself as well. Watching all of those bonuses and ranks happen so quickly for the person who brought me on was a piece of this that I wanted to share with other people. So my back was up against a wall. I was telling the story that my husband had told me it was like the beginning of summer of 2015. I had a few failed business attempts. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I had some successful ones, some exits, but I also had some failed ones that led to a bankruptcy for one of the businesses just prior to this. And my husband was like, enough. It's time to go back and get a 9 to 5 job. And I was like, no, please, no. And he's like, well, take the summer. Luke, my son was 8 at the time, was going to be home. So instead of finding him a sitter or something like that, we decided to wait until now. Sorry, I have somebody doing yard work right outside my window. I hope you guys can't hear that. Wow, what a day. So I spent that summer trying to figure out what I was going to do and watching my friend Beth as she was on her journey through this business, and decided in July, I had dumped my change jug out on my living room floor to make my car payment. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm watching her hit all these bonuses. She's getting people to this auto bonus thing. They're going on vacations. They're all hitting this money for this VIP 800, 1600. So I was looking for a business. I wasn't looking for a product, but the product had to work. So I tried the product, jumped in, and hit 12K in my first couple of weeks, and then on to 200K in my first 8 months. And it's just been a blessing. It's been a huge blessing. Our life has completely and drastically changed from the point of literally dumping the change jug out on the living room floor to selling my eBay gift card or my Best Buy gift card on eBay so that I could buy my promoter kit because I didn't have the money to do that either, to then hitting the top rank of the company 8 months later, and a couple of years later, the Millionaire Award. So it's been a journey, and it's been a great one.
How many years have you been in now?
I started August of 2015. So it's been in August, it'll be 6 years.
6 years. Okay. And I think that this is my favorite part of the Zoom, which is horrible because it's the part where people share the crap. But I just know that there's so many people on this Zoom right now that they are stuck in a place, whatever that place is, whether it's, maybe they came into January all excited about grabbing a bonus and they're realizing it's not going to happen. Or, maybe they took time off or life happened. And, I have people that are, I have one girl that was in my inbox yesterday. She's like, I am so red legged. I just want to give up. And I have people that, they missed a bonus or lost a bonus or complain about an upline or they lost a team. I have a girl that lost a huge chunk of her team to another company in December. And it's so crazy to watch how she's just picked up and literally is overcoming that. What are some of the things that you've had to go through or personally just that you're thinking of since you've gone 200K that, some roadblocks?
So I'll be so transparent on this because it's the only way I know how to be, because this will be a little bit different story than any of those things. I never had a red line issue. I still have never had a red line issue. I've been able to recruit. If you're a good recruiter, you won't really have to worry about red line too much, because you just keep going out and recruiting and putting those people in the right place. But so that's not been my issue. I have never had a leader leave, a big leader leave to another company. We've always kept our team. But we didn't recruit a whole lot of network marketers, if that makes sense. So like, we didn't have people that were necessarily looking for the next best thing. We've always had a very close-knit team, almost too close. We built tribe mentality big time, and that can backfire on you too. So we built a really, really close, tight-knit team in Metro Detroit. We did everything together. We traveled together. We played together. We did everything together. We did a lot of locals. We built locally, but we didn't build with network marketers. We built with the every average day person. And so when you think about that, it seems like the best way to build a team. However, when the times get tough, and things slow down a little bit and they're not as easy, if they didn't really learn how to do network marketing, they just kind of all slow down. So over time, my biggest struggle has been that we built all of these friendships and all of this greatness when the momentum was there and people were building. And then when momentum halted a bit, it was more about digging in and building your business. People were so used to the easy money, the easy momentum type building. And when it got tough, fingers start pointing. People want to blame somebody for why they're not successful. And so I took a little bit of a step back the last, I will say, year or so, and started building some other businesses. I said at the beginning of this, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I can't help myself. Type A, go after everything all at one time, never multiple network marketing companies. But when there's business opportunities and things that you can build, I like doing that. Well, I got myself sidetracked, and I don't know what came first, the chicken or the egg. Some of our team wanted people to blame and kind of stopped, doing the do themselves and got a little bit complacent. Or me as their leader, they saw me take my foot off the gas in this business and started working on some other things. So they took their foot off the gas too. I'll take some blame for that. So while we have maintained a really great, solid 200K team, we've even reached past the $1 million a month mark. We definitely have slid back. And I blame some of that on me. I blame some of that on having a team that just kind of lost that momentum and thought momentum might be the only way to build, instead of digging in and learning network marketing and learning how to do the do each and every day. So with that being said, I've circled back around in the last couple of months and really had to do some soul searching. I burnt myself out at the end of 2020. Obviously, everybody had kind of a rough year in 2020. I had a rough year with everything that we all went through, plus losing a couple of businesses because of the way the economy went, and they were startups. And so when that happened, I had to take a breather for about 30, 60 days, because I literally burnt myself out, like to the point where you hear burnout, you hear people write books on burnout, you listen to some of those books and think, oh, well, I'm type A, I could do everything and anything, and I've got more energy than anybody. That was me. I never thought in a million years that I could burn myself out, and I physically burnt myself out. I've been telling the story lately that if you know what love sacks are, you get those big love sacks in your living room, and these ginormous beanbags that you can get sucked into and never get out of. Well, thrivers don't do stuff like that, right? Because we're full of energy. Middle of December, I decided to take a last minute vacation, went to the beach for like 5 days, came home. It was Christmas time, had all the family over for Christmas, brought the love sack into the living room for extra seating, sat down in that thing. And I don't think I left it for 30 days. That's how burnout I had myself. And so during that 30 days, I did some soul searching and went, Jessica, you love your network marketing business. You love your team. You love Lavelle. You love this. You know how to build network marketing. put all the other stuff aside, put your blinders back on, and build your network marketing business. It's the one that keeps paying through all of this craziness. This is the one that keeps paying when everything else stops. This is the one that keeps paying when you have to take 30 days off in your beanbag. So that's some of the struggles that I've gone through in the last couple of years, have been a big learning lesson for me. You climb to the top, you make, really decent income, and you have that residual income coming in, and you have some great leaders on your team. And as a type A personality, someone who loves to build business, you can get sidetracked into other things. And I had sat down with Eric Worre. I really follow a lot of what he does, GoPro. I sat down and had a conversation with him on Zoom in the spring, and he looked at me, he's like, Jessica, why are you getting yourself into all of these other things? Focus on what you know. Network marketing. You've been in this for a while. You've built really big. Focus on what you know, because network marketing is going to pay you forever. All these other things are just going to waste your bank account. And he was so right. I should have listened to him back in the spring.
What's crazy is I think a lot of people, when they start making money, we feel like we need to have like multiple streams of income, and we start like looking left and right and all around, and not necessarily at network marketing companies. I'm talking about just other things. And what people don't, I think this is so common. I've been doing this call for 2.5 years, and this is a new struggle. I'm so excited because it's a lot of people will go through this, even if you're not at that space, in that space yet. I hope you'll let this be like a lesson to you that, network marketing and this business and what Lavelle can do for you. We can fall into that busy work trap too. You know what I mean? Where we're kind of, I don't know, pretending to work, but we're not really working, or we're counting on our downline to do it. And honestly, it's like when we stop and we're not, people see that. People realize when you aren't doing what you were doing before. And they do follow the leader. That phrase, people follow the leader, they really truly do. I've watched it on my own team. It's happened to me. I think it's happened to every single person, and we all get burnt out too. Like, I think there's a lot of people on here that think, am I the only one that just, maybe I'm in an ungrateful headspace and I'm not realizing what I've got here, and I just get burned out. I've been there. I've totally been there, where I have been like, I don't want to answer another message. I don't want to deal with any drama. I don't want to do anything but just like lay in my bed for 30 days. Like, those things happen. But the thing is, and I think the moral is that you soul searched. You look in the mirror. You realize, okay, these are the things that I'm not doing. And that's why this looks the way it does, not playing the blame game, and then picking yourself up and putting yourself right back in and starting over. I know this for me, and I'm sure there's a lot of people, but that place where you kind of feel like you're starting over, not starting over. Obviously we're 200Ks and we've got a team, but when you're in a funk like that for like 30 days, and then you're trying to come out of it, I think it's one of the hardest things is to start. Like, you kind of don't know where you're going. Like, okay, how do I get back into this and, get back in the groove of everything after coming out of a funk like that? What did you do? Did you just start jumping back in? And
no, that's a good question, because I have to kind of think about that. I'm a really self-motivated person, and I found myself for the first time in my adult life sitting in that beanbag going, I ain't got nothing. Like, I literally have nothing. I have nothing to give. I was completely stressed out. Like I said, I physically burnt myself out to the point where I was making myself sick. So I had to sit and do some soul searching. And during that soul searching and realizing what network marketing opportunity is for people, it gives you that freedom to be able to take time off when you need to. And I stopped giving myself that. I was like working 18-hour days, 7 days a week for 2 solid years, not on my Lavelle business. That was still in there. I was still working that business, but not like the other stuff that I had going on. And I literally just took everything off my plate. I just started shoveling literally everything off my plate. It had to go, because I can't, I got to have some people run some of these other businesses. I can't do them myself. And I just want to be a network marketer, because I will tell you guys this because I know that there's a bunch of people on here going, this business isn't easy compared to other things. This business is so easy, and you can take the time off when you need to, and you don't have a boss, and you don't have a board telling you what to do, and you don't have someone breathing down your neck, and you don't have deadlines, and you have somebody else taking care of the product and the overhead and all of that. And so that's the check marks I started going off or checking off in my head. Like, what is it that I really want? What I really want is no boss. That's why I got into this. So I've given myself a boss again. I don't want. I don't want to wake up to an alarm clock unless it's because I have to get up to get my son to school. I want to be able to go on vacation whenever I want and not have to tell anybody or ask permission or even see if it's feasible. I want to help other people build these same things. And the only way I was going to do that and impact a lot of people was really digging back into my network marketing business. And then I will tell you, I came from a company that was huge in Southeast Asia. I went on a couple of their what would call a lifestyle getaway. And I will tell you that my husband and I were the only Caucasian people on those trips. They were all Asian, and it was a US company, a 30 or 35-year-old company. It was mainly Southeast Asia that were on those trips. And so when I joined Lavelle, and we were only in, I don't know, at that time, Canada, USA, UK, Australia, I think we were open in all of those. And I always said, I told people for years, build your base, because when this company expands to other territories and other countries like Southeast Asia, it's going to explode. You think we saw momentum before? Wait till we go into countries like Southeast Asia. They're twice the size of the United States. Those countries that were getting ready to open, twice the size population of the United States. When that was right at the end of my beanbag scenario, when the company announced they'd be going into Southeast Asia, and something snapped in my head. So all the check marks were going off, right? This is what I need to do. This is the way I want my life to go. This is the path I want it to be going down. This is what I started in the first place 5.5 years ago. And then the company announced we'd be going to Southeast Asia. And I go, Jessica, you've been waiting for this for 5.5 years. Get out of the beanbag. And that was it. I was out of the beanbag. And then I started, you asked me a question like, what did I start doing? Like, how do you dig back in? My best way is to go find something new, not reinvent the wheel, but something new. So I went looking for leaders who have taken companies overseas and started following them on social media. A couple of them I was already friends with. And so reached out to them and asked for some advice, some tips, some training stuff, and decided to start implementing some automated stuff for our team, some automated, very duplicatable things, because when we go overseas, we're going to have to be able to duplicate very easily. So that's what got me motivated and fired up. And we've been hustling every day since.
You jump in and you figure out what is it that's going to make you excited again, yep. And that's what it is, because I mean, nothing's changed, the industry, where we're at, Lavelle, the products, the compensation plan, they're all still just as amazing, if not better now than when you joined. You know what I mean? So it's like getting your head space back mentally, because it's so mental. Like, I've watched people come into this business. I can't do it. Everyone I know thinks it's too expensive. And they sit for a year, and then all of a sudden something happens in their life to where they need to make this happen. And suddenly that person that couldn't do anything with this is now like running to 12K in 2 weeks. It's so mental. It's crazy how mental it truly is. Speaking of that, people were asking, I know you, like, I've followed you and I know you're into self-development. I think a lot of people are into self-development when they get into this industry, but somebody had asked in the comments, do you recommend any books or, especially for beginning network marketers, what kind of self-development is your favorite? Do you have favorite books or podcasts or anybody you follow?
I cannot seem to get into podcasts, even though it seems to be like the biggest thing. I don't know why.
Oh my gosh, I'm not the only one.
Oh, good. That's how I felt. I was the only one.
I messaged Rob Sperry and I said, hey, I know you have a podcast. How do I get to that?
Right. I'm like, books, yes. I am an Audible, my Audible library is crazy. I also, if you could see, I blur out my background because it's a little bit of a mess in my office, but I have 2 huge bookshelves over here and they're filled with books. I am leaders are readers. read as much as you can, as quickly as you can. And if you can only read 10 pages a day, read 10 pages a day, but do something. I could recommend 1,000 books because I've read a ton. I've interviewed authors on a lot of these books. I try to hunt them down. And I will tell you the one book that I read prior to coming into Lavelle, I was with my old company. I read Eric Worre's GoPro 7 Steps to Become a Professional Network Marketer. I hands down literally just bought another 25 copies to give every single brand new personally enrolled to me a copy of it when they come on, because I wholeheartedly believe he's got the 7 steps to becoming a professional in that book. And it's on Audible. I've listened to it probably 50 times. I preach it. I truly believe that if you follow that and do what he says, your business will become so much easier. Between mindset and mind shifting and doing the right things and growing and treating your business like a business, he really does have it down pat. So I wouldn't even tell anybody to go past there until they've read that book if they're real serious about building their network marketing company. I know that I went to 200K in 8 months because I literally took his book and made it my Bible of my business. And it's a short, easy read, so anybody can understand it. And that'd be my number one recommendation. After that, there's hundreds of books that I would recommend, but I wouldn't even get into any of that unless you've read that book.
Yeah, I agree. That one and Your First Year in Network Marketing are my two favorites that I always tell people about. I'm like, yes, because and the thing is this business isn't hard. The systems are simple. It's just getting consistent and getting that routine down and kind of knowing what to expect too. That look, people are going to quit. You're going to sign people that don't call you back. You're going to, have days where you hear a lot of no's. Like those are just givens. And sometimes it's a shock to people that have never done this before. They're like, okay, I thought this was going to be sunshine and rainbows, and it's not all the time. You've been doing this a while, and I'm pretty sure you're probably out of your main network, friends and family that were going to join you probably have. Hey, stop it. My question is, how do you continue to grow your network?
That's also a really good question. So I think that we forget sometimes that people are, I don't know whether you want to call them a door or a window or whatever, like you meet people, and just because they're not necessarily going to thrive with you or do the business with you doesn't mean that they can't open you up to a bunch more people. So another thing that got me out of the beanbag, and I'll probably thank this gentleman for the rest of my life. My stepfather, who to this day does not thrive and will not take the product because he's stubborn. I'm going to work on him some more this summer. He tells everybody about the business. Anybody who will listen, he tells them about the business that I'm in. So he referred a gentleman to me a couple of months ago. I actually told my stepdad, I don't even have the time or energy to bring on a new promoter right now. I don't want to do them a disservice. Like, I don't know if I'm the best person for this guy to enroll with. That's how bad and burnt out I was, you guys. You never tell somebody no. So I ended up on the phone with the guy, and we went through what is my happy place, is teaching somebody how to become successful in this business. Loved the product, tried the product, but when I get to talk to somebody about the business, I light up. And it was a referral from a referral. And this gentleman may do well in this business, and he may not, but he's now brought 20 new people in. There's a saying, and we don't talk about it that much in this business. We definitely talked about it in my last network marketing company. And maybe that's why I don't feel like I'm ever out of people to talk to. We called it driving lines. And when you bring somebody new into the business, they might quit in 2 weeks. You need to do everything in your power to get through to their connections and help their people, help them thrive for free. Then help those people try to work on thriving for free, or just getting in contact with their people with them, so that you're not, I can't tell you how many people who I brought into this business and the original promoter quit or just kind of does the business, but I work really closely with the people that they brought into this business. So driving lines is really important. I'm not talking about stepping all over your downline and going after their network. I'm talking about working with the person you sponsored to grow your network into other people. The other thing is social media. Oh my gosh, when I was in the last business, we weren't even allowed to use social media. I mean, things have changed since then for them, but you have so many people at your fingertips. If you can't find people on social media that have common interests and likes and work to grow your network that way, you have to be living under a rock. So I just say you have to do every single day to grow your network. I'm not the belly to belly person. Haas and I laugh about this all the time. Lisa, I know you've interviewed Haas. He is one of my favorite team members. He is exactly polar opposite of me in so many ways when it comes to recruiting this business. He is the belly to belly guy. I am probably never going to be that girl. So I don't necessarily and I don't make myself do something that's just not me, right? You want to be you in this business. I do, however, love growing my network on social media. So I'm going to join groups. I'm going to join groups that have to do with, things that I'm interested in or that I want to know more about. I just decided, my husband and I did keto for a couple of years. We've had some good success with that. But we had some test results lately that we realized we needed to be a little healthier than the keto we were doing. So we decided to just go dairy free and go paleo. Well, I just added myself to a bunch of paleo groups and I'm making new friends in there and we're sharing recipes. And there is not a shortage of people out there, you guys. It's a shortage of you going out there and working with those people to create those relationships, and always treat somebody like a window. Like there's a couple people I'm working to recruit right now that have kind of been there dancing around it. They don't have confidence in themselves. And I'm thinking, I don't know if they'll really be that successful at the business. There's going to be a lot of head coaching that's going to have to go on here for them to believe enough in themselves for them to shoot to the top. But don't ever count somebody out. And I have no idea who these two people know in their network. My next 200K might be laying underneath that person, right? So it's always about driving those lines and working through your network too. Don't walk away from a possible recruit just because you're like, I don't know. They're probably going to be one that quits after 2 weeks. Take your feelings out of it. They might quit after 2 weeks, but in that 2 weeks, you better do some interviewing of their network because your next 200K could be lying there.
When you say interviewing of their network, because I'm huge on referrals, it's literally one of the first things I do when I get anybody in my inbox. It's always okay, who do you know that needs these things? Get me in a message. I'm always trying to okay, now I can friend request these people because if this person decides not to order, when you are kind of digging into, let's say I'm in your inbox, I sign with you and, you're thinking I'm not going to do much. How would you kind of get into my network?
We use the trials. I want to get as many trials out to their people as humanly possible. So I always make sure I have a little bit of stock. I always try to at all costs get them into the $400 kit so that they have sample mail out credits. We start making a list together. I give them the I got away from this, just got back into it recently, but the ultimate memory jogger, there's probably a number of them out there. I know Eric Borey has one, and have them jog their memory with you. Get on Zoom with them and start writing down all of the people that they're going to contact. Actually just started trying to use Trello a little bit more to track things with my new people so that I can see who all of their people are with them. And we can track those people every time we get on a call. How is it going in their, how's this trial person going and how's this trial person going? Can we get them on a message? Can we get them on a call? Can we get them on a Zoom? And make sure I figure out who those people are and how we're going to help them become thrivers. And just knowing everything about my new person's network, where do they go? Where do they work? What kind of hobbies do they have? What kind of people do they know? And we start working through that network together so that then I can create relationships with their people too, so that they don't feel like, number one, they're doing this business all on their own. They're going to have some help, but also, so if they quit on themselves too quickly, I can still work with some of their people that might want to continue on. So I know you're really good about that. You're one of your trainings is a training that I have our team go through right in the very beginning on your referral sample training.
Oh, I'm honored. It does work though. You have to do it for people because they don't get it in the beginning. I think we do that all the time with new people. We're just assuming because we know how to do it and we think it's so simple that they know what they're doing. And I do the same thing as you. I get them on a Zoom, a FaceTime, something. We need to get together, especially if you meet them through social media, because if you're doing everything through a message, I don't think you're real to that person, real until you're okay, we're chatting like this. And that's when they're like, okay, I've got this person, they've got my back. They're going to help me do this. I think that's so important. When you sign up a new promoter, do you have anything else that you do that, like this is what I'm going to do with somebody in the first 2 weeks to try to help them VIP?
So great question, only because I told you I don't want to say I took 2 years off the business because I didn't. I've been ever so present in our team and our business for the last 2 years. I've just been divided. There's plan A, plan B, plan C, and plan D, and I was working all of them. So I wasn't utilizing or, putting people through a system like I used to. So in the last couple of months, since I've really been back at it and building, I put together I don't want to say a new system. It's all the same things we've always done. It's the same exact funnel. I am not reinventing the wheel. However, I've made an automated system to put people through in Trello, and it walks them through their first 14 days. We are legitimately giving them their first post or their day 1 post, their day 2 post, their day 3 post. And they don't have to use those. But one of the main questions I get when they start is, what do I post? I don't even know what to say. So we're making it simple. We're giving them scripts. We're giving them everything to use. We are checking in with them multiple times a day and putting them through that same exact funnel they've always had. It's just more digital at this point. We've talked about, the sticky note challenges, the 100 Thrivers challenge is just kind of a digital way of doing it. So now everyone's going through that system. And with Trello, you can make templates. So I made a template for my whole team. So anybody new that comes on board with me, I'm having them now that all of this is done and built, I'm having them now all take the link from the template and they can create their own and add me to their board. So now as they start filling out their top, whatever you want to call it, everybody's different, top 25 list, top 50 list, top 100 list of contacts, they go in and start filling all that out. I have them put 8 people to their VIP 800, 1600 and literally fill it out. Doesn't mean that that's who's going to complete their VIP 800, 1600 with them, but at least we've started somewhere, put the vision to it. And I can now follow them through 14 days. We've given them checklists. Everything's digital. They can do it from their phone. No sticky notes needed, no boards needed to take with you. Everything is digital. So that's the newer system that I'm using to bring somebody through their first 14 days. So I can literally watch it as it's happening. And I can see all of the different people they're sampling, when they've followed up with them, as long as they're using that right. But it's a good tool for me to keep track of them and their new prospects so that we're not letting anybody fall through the cracks this time.
Yeah. And I think that people don't, again, they're new. They don't know what they're like. How do I make a first post? Like, what should it say? We have to be there to guide people through that. And you don't have to, I mean, I don't want people on here to think I don't have this amazing system like Jessica did. Jessica was doing it before that. There's 1,200,000 in this company that do it a different way. Like there's so many different ways to do this. So you just get down how you're going to do it. But one of the things that I started doing that you're doing too, oh my gosh, it's so huge, is I'm having them make their wish list of, okay, I want you to fill in your VIP 800 and 1600, 4 customers, 4 promoters. Who's your wish list for customers that you want to help? And who's your wish list for promoters that you would love to have on your team that you know now? And it gives us like a starting point. Okay, how are we going to reach out to these people? What are we going to say? How are we going to play the favor card? Like it gets them thinking, who do I want in these spaces? Instead of just kind of you throwing out there, hey, you need to get 4 customers, 4 promoters. They're like, I don't know what to do. But when you kind of get them visualizing who those people are, it changes the game a little bit. Now they know where to put their focus a little bit more. That is so huge. We talk about income producing activities all the time. Everybody needs to make sure they're doing income producing activities. And what I'm finding on my team is a lot of people are doing things as income producing activities that don't produce income. Like for instance, they are on the Tuesday Zoom every week, which is phenomenal, but the Tuesday Zoom is not going to make them money, unfortunately. However, something they learn on the Tuesday Zoom could make them money, but they're also taking like a page full of notes that they never go back to. They're stuck in this, like, I'm Thriver of the Year. I wear 20 patches a day. Like, what are you talking about? This is my life, but they're doing not the right things to grow their income. What for you is considered like, these are my income producing activities, like activities that really produce income?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's hard when you get to a point where you have a bigger team, because you get a little bit into management mode sometimes. And those kind of are income producing activities, because you got to make sure that your team is, has all the tools and the things that they need to grow. Right. So, but as far as like one-on-one, like recruiting, prospecting, I know some people don't like the word prospecting, and bringing in new business to your business. I go with something I heard Allison Mongler, another 200K, say a long time ago. She's, and I repeat it to everybody all the time. This is a contact sport. The more people you contact, the faster you win. And I don't think anything's income producing other than contacting people, period. Like, you just need to be contacting people. And if you're not contacting people, every other activity doesn't matter.
Mind blown. You guys, this is a contact sport. Like, we can do all of those other things, but if you are not recruiting, if you're not prospecting, if you're not building new relationships, like, you just wasted a full day. Like, I want you guys to really think about that this week, or just go by yesterday. Yesterday, how many people did you talk to that were not in Lavelle? Just about anything. How many people did you add to social media? How many, interactions did you make in a group you're in? Like, if the answer to that is, I didn't do any of those things yesterday, you did not do an income producing activity. Like, I mean, I know we have to post on Facebook. Yes, all of those pieces, but none of, like you just said, none of those pieces matter if you're not, there's nobody looking at it. There's nobody to see your post about how you just, earned your trip. If you're not networking, there's nobody to see those posts. And that is the piece of the puzzle that is missing for so many people, is they just getting that in their minds. Like, this is a contact sport, and you've got to be contacting people, or nothing else that you do will matter. That's so huge. If you had, we're coming up on the top of the hour, we're about to get paid, exciting times. There's a lot of people on here. They've got 2 weeks left. They're pushing for the bonus. They're like, I'm going to make this happen. And I always tell people, look, I mean, Jessica, you've been here. There will be more. Guess what? If you don't get these, Lavelle will do something else, and then maybe that will be your time. But I keep telling people, it's never going to be your time if you don't get consistent. It's these people that woke up January, right when the bonuses were announced, they were hibernating for the winter, and they're like, all right, I'm so excited. And now we're going to, get to the end of this bonus period. And then a lot of those people are going to go back to sleep.
Yep.
It's their winter again. And then they're going to wake up again when there's a bonus. And that is never, ever going to get you there. If you've got to stay consistent in the times where nothing's going on. Like, you just got to stay consistent. If you had a couple tips for people on here, with that in mind, just moving forward, like, what would they be? Like, any tip? Just don't give up, whatever on your heart.
I guess what's on my heart is the subject we were on just prior to this, and just prior to closing. And it's, attraction marketing has become really big. We are spending a lot of time trying to make these attractive pictures and these attractive posts and these attractive stories and all this attractive stuff to attract people to us. But if we are not contacting people from all of that, then all of that becomes pointless. That is not income producing activity. You can have the prettiest pictures and the prettiest posts and try to follow all the people who have all the attraction marketing down. But in all reality, I heard another really big leader in another company just say this recently. She got so into attraction marketing, nothing about her company on her page, nothing. We want to attract everybody. We want to pull them in. We don't want to push them away by spamming any of our product or any of that. She's like, I got so far into that lane that people would come to my page and had no idea what I actually did. So make sure you're still posting about your product and you're contacting people about your product and your opportunity, because attraction marketing can only take you so far. People can be attracted to that and watch you and walk the other direction and never know what you actually do. She's a big leader in another company and had a really great person join their company, but joined a different team under a different leader because she had no idea that this other person even did that business, because there was nothing on her page about her product or opportunity. So we can get really caught up in this attraction marketing thing that wasn't a thing when we started 5.5 years ago. We just spammed Thrive all over our Facebook pages. That was okay. I know that there's a happy medium. Just figure out what the happy medium is for you and make sure you're contacting people. It is so important.
That is so good. Yeah, this is why I love this Zoom. That is so good because I mean, at the end of the day, people are so, I literally know somebody in another company who you would never know what she did because they never post. Like they teach their whole company, yeah, don't ever talk about the business. Don't tell anybody what it is. Like what the heck? So we're passionate about all these other things in life. Like I like to go on trips. I have dogs. I'm a girl mom, but we're not passionate about something that we do every single day that's supposed to be something we love and we want to share with other people. That makes no sense that we wouldn't share our business with other people. It's part of us. It's who we are. And you've got to,
it's network marketing.
Yeah. I mean, everybody needs to stop. And it's not as taboo as it used to be. Like 5-10 years ago, everybody I would talk to would say, is that one of those pyramid things? Now they don't say that. People don't say that anymore. And if your headspace is still there, that where you think people think that, that's your limiting beliefs. Like you've got to get over that. Jessica, I just want to thank you so much for being vulnerable too, because, I think a lot of times people think 200Ks, it's just easy sailing, sunshine and rainbows. And I know it can be hard to admit, dude, I was in a funk. Like, I was not doing what I was supposed to be doing. I was getting sidetracked, but those are real things that are going to happen to people. Those are real things that are happening to somebody right now, and they feel like they're the only one. And I'm so glad you shared and you were vulnerable because you didn't have to. I mean, you could have just painted a prettier picture, but that doesn't help people grow. So I really, really, really appreciate you. And thank you for hopping on and spending the last hour with us and pouring into us. And I know you guys that are on today, you probably have a ton of notes. Make sure you go apply it to your business. Don't shut it and never look at it again. Because Jessica gave us so many stinking golden nuggets. It's not even funny, like huge, huge golden nuggets. Jessica, thank you so much.
Lisa, thanks for having me. I appreciate you.
No problem. Thank you. And thanks to all of you guys who got on with us. Happy payday. Don't forget to make your awesome payday post. Let people know what Thrive is doing for you this week. And we'll be here next week, every week, same time, same place, same everything, same link. Just set your alarm and make sure you're here and I'll have a guest. And Danny, thank you so much. You know what's so crazy is my daughter's like, I said, what time is it? And my daughter is like, it's 9:20. And I'm like, oh crap. And then I calmed down really quick because I knew that Danny would have my back. So Danny, it's the Danny's on your team that like keep the world go around. They keep it moving. Yes. Thank you so much, Danny. I appreciate you. Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.
Have a good week.